Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you with another video. All right, so the score was 105-104 in Utah. The Lakers get the victory. The first for back-to-back on a 4-game road trip. And as you can see, we only won by one, so it wasn't exactly a great game for the Los Angeles Lakers. Anthony Davis was the high man with 33 points, 11 rebounds. Bron had 24 and 14 assists. 0 for 9 from behind the arc. I don't know. I don't know. We're just gonna keep going. Yeah, that was insane. That basketball game was absolutely insane. Gabe Vincent only missed one shot tonight, 4 out of 5 from the field. Love what I saw from Gabe Vincent in the start. Jalen Hood-Schifino had a great plus minus. I think he had like 4 points, a block, a steal, a rebound. Like, definitely love seeing Jay Hood get out there and ball. Max Christie had a really nice game. I don't remember exactly what his stats was, but he was good. He got to the line 8 out of 10 there, so we love seeing him be as aggressive as he was. Rui Hachimura had a pretty solid shooting night tonight. Definitely crashed the offensive glass. I like that I saw him get multiple rebounds out there. I think he walked away with like 7 rebounds, maybe 14 points or something like that. The Lakers only had 5 turnovers as a team. Bron had 3 of them. We really took care of the ball tonight. Definitely like that. We shot poorly. 44% from the field, 21% from 3. 0 for 9, Bron. I don't know. That was a very strange basketball game. Of course, we mentioned at the halftime that we were missing pretty much our entire backcourt. Austin and D'Lo and Cam were out. So as a result, we got more Gabe Vincent than we were hoping for, but he played really well with the minutes. So we're pleased with that. And then, of course, some Jalen Hood-Schifino. And, you know, we did the best we could, man. We did the best we took good. We saw some Traore minutes out there. Didn't really have the greatest game, I guess, but he did some okay things, I guess. Not really impactful tonight. But, you know, we had a situation down there where, to me, in the fourth quarter, it just seemed like who wanted to lose this game more. That's what it felt like to me. Who wants to lose this game more? LeBron or the coach of the Utah Jazz? Who needs the loss more? That's what it was. It was a race to the bottom. You know, the Utah Jazz, when you really are tanking and the other team is playing so horribly that they're getting in the way of your tanking process, that's kind of what you saw down there. The Utah Jazz, with 1 second to go, or rather 2 seconds to go, they put some time back on the clock, but Colin Sexton was driving at the rim, hit the game-winning layup, or the go-ahead layup with 1 second to go or whatever, and his coach called a timeout. Now, mind you, off the rebound, the coach was telling him to go, 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 go. He was swinging his arm, telling him to go. Then when Colin Sexton's in a position to attack, a little defense was in front of him, and the coach called timeout. I guess the timeout was delayed a little bit, and Colin Sexton made the layup that would have given him the lead with 1 second to go. And they had given him the timeout, so they erased that layup, and then they went for a play where ultimately we were able to block the shot. It was like, you're not getting in the way of my winning. I'm sorry, Colin Sexton. Our losing, which is a win for the Jazz. That's what it really came down to. They were trying their best to lose the game, and Colin Sexton was going to ruin that for them by making a game-winning shot. That's exactly how I took it. Like, there's no way they were going to let him be successful in that situation, winning this basketball game when they have this one pegged as a loss. They're tanking for Flag. You got to be bad for Flag, man. You got to be lazy for Bailey, and that's all Jazz is about. They don't want to win any of these basketball games. And the Lakers missing 100 threes down the stretch, putting the ball in LeBron's hands as he continues to struggle, by hook or crook, living and dying by LeBron James, whether it makes any sense or not, is not going to stop the Jazz from losing this basketball game. They're on a mission, and damn it, you are not going to lose, Lakers. I'm sorry. I don't care how bad you want to. You're not losing. And so that's what it really came down to. This was a race to the bottom tonight. LeBron James hit the game-winning layup, left-handed layup, but he was 0 for 8. We're up by 2. He takes another 3, and I'm sitting here like, this man really wants to lose bad as hell, bro. Like, that's how I felt watching LeBron. Like, he really, really genuinely cannot see himself winning this basketball game at all. I mean, he just keeps launching bad 3 after bad 3. The man ain't made a 3 in 5, was it 3 games? think it's 3 games. He didn't make it 3. And he launched 9 of them tonight. 9. when he's cold, fam. His numbers tell you he had a great game, and he won the game for the team. 14 assists was fantastic. Only 3 turnovers is great production in comparison to what he's been doing for the last 8 games. But I'm going to be honest with you. He was horrific in the fourth quarter. I most definitely would not have seen him lay the ball up with the left hand because he would have been sitting if I was the coach of this basketball team. There's no way I'm letting him continue to run things in that situation. And it just so happened that he made the left hand layup. And you got to give JJ credit for not giving up on Bron. You know what I mean? Not pulling him out the game. But believe me when I tell you, this game should not have been as close as it was. Bron was shooting us out of the game. He did not care that he was missing all the threes. He was going to force his way into hitting a shot, and it never came. The 3-ball never fell. He spent the entire fourth quarter throwing possessions away, trying to force himself into making shots that he could not make. It was horrific. It was an absolute abomination. And if it weren't for the left-hand layup that he made, he basically cost the Lakers a basketball game. But Utah would have none of that. Ain't no way Colin Sexton about to ruin their chance to get Cooper flagged. Not on this night. That was awful. That was just an awful display by both teams in one way or another. I have to say it that way. It was an awful display by both teams. Granted, the Lakers were down like several guards. Anthony Davis had a really nice game, 33 points, 11 rebounds. He's getting the game ball. I'm not giving the game ball to Bron. After what I just saw in that fourth quarter, there's no way. I don't care that he won the game. I do not care, fam. He tried his best to give that thing to Utah, man. And I'm telling you, I think there's something wrong there with Bron right now. And it ain't just mental. I know he had a hard collision with Wemby. And it attacked that left rib. I think it was probably his left side. I'm not really certain. But that left rib collided with Wemby's hip in that Spur game. And then he had another collision in the last game that hit that same spot, if I'm not mistaken. I do believe that's catering to why he looks so terrible out there shooting the ball. I think he's playing injured. I wouldn't be surprised if that rib is cracked. I would not be surprised if he's playing through injury right now. I think he is. And I ain't heard nobody say that. But I think LeBron James is playing through injury right now. But I got to tell you, man, I don't understand him or Austin Reeves in the way that they operate. Austin didn't play tonight, so this ain't about tonight. This is just in general. When you're cold, you just keep shooting your team out of the basketball game? Like, last game it was 2 for 9 for Austin. Tonight it's 0 for 9 from Bron. We shot 21% from behind the arc, and it was basically the same person shooting us all the way into that percentage. 2 nights in a row, 2 different people. What is wrong with these people? I've never agreed with if you're missing shots, just keep shooting. Shooters shoot their way out of it. I never agree with that philosophy. That philosophy is hokey doke. Why? Because you're throwing possessions away. And if you're not a great defensive or rebounding team, that's a bad recipe. I don't think we could beat a non-tanking team tonight the way that we played. I don't think we can beat a lot of tanking teams the way that we played if they decide they just want to give themselves a moral victory. Utah was determined to lose this game to the point where they called a timeout when it looked like they were about to win it. They did not want to win at all. They were on a mission to lose, and that is the only reason, in my opinion, why the Lakers won the game. Utah was turning the ball over on every possession down the stretch of this game. Every possession, they were throwing the ball way away from their players. They did not want to win. And every time they do something to purposely throw the ball away so that they could, secure their loss, LeBron James would come down and throw up a bad 3 that we wouldn't rebound. It was ridiculous. The last 5 minutes of the game was essentially that right there. Pretty much the whole time. We didn't get the ball to AD no more. Nobody got the ball at all. It was just Bron determined to will himself to at least hit 1 3. And if it took 9 attempts, he was going to go for it. Love the left-handed lay to win the game. Love the left-handed lay, man. Even though he damn near turned the ball over when he tried to readjust his dribble on that same exact play. If the Utah Jazz would have been a little quicker to the ball, that's a turnover right there. I don't care what them stats tell you. This was the worst fourth quarter of basketball I've seen LeBron play in a very long time. I do think I've seen him play worse this season, but that fourth quarter was horrific. The first three weren't as bad, but in the fourth, when he decided he wanted to just shoot his way out of his slump in crunch time, he did every single thing he could to give this game to that tanking franchise, and they just did not want it. It was no way they were going to let him do that to them. I don't think I've seen two teams want to lose as bad as these two did tonight. I don't think I've ever seen it. Really, talk about trying to lose. Both of these teams were trying to lose. And that's really what it comes down to. Dalton Knecht had an off night tonight. I think he walked away with like 6 points, 7 rebounds. Definitely not a Dalton night, but they did a great job of closing out on him and trying to, make sure that he wasn't the one to beat them. So they were determined not to let him shoot them out of it for whatever reason. Look, man, I'm going to tell y'all the truth. If LeBron James keeps shooting like this, he's going to shrink the court for his basketball team. I'm just going to be honest with you. Because at this point, there is no reason to close out on him from behind the arc. There's no reason. Like, he's missed like 23s in a row over the last 3 games. It's absolutely absurd. So if I'm Minnesota tomorrow, I'm playing off of him like he can't shoot at all. Because the display that he showed tonight tells me it's going to be a little while before he hits another 3. It's going to be a little while, man. So, I don't know, man. We can't win games like this. I'm telling you, we played worse tonight than we did in the last one. We did. We just so happened to play a bad team. But we were worse tonight than we were against OKC, man. Really were. This was a carryover from all of those games that we played against good teams and lost. The 4 out of 5. This was another one of those. We just could not seal the loss. Utah wanted it more than we did. That's all it was. That is all that was, ladies and gentlemen. But I like what I saw from our young fellas. It was good to see some different Lakers out there. Traore, Max Christie getting some real minutes, getting a chance to play a little point guard out there. I thought Max Christie made a fantastic pass to Bron from full court or low. No, was that Bron or was it? It might have been to Bron. It might have been to AD. I don't remember. But he threw the ball to one of them stars on a low, like bounce pass. I thought was one of his best passes that he's ever made in his career. And Max Christie just really looked good running the offense for the team. He looked sharp. Got to the line a bunch of times. Really helped his team that way. Rui Hachimura, like I said, he got involved. There were some times that I was a little frustrated here and there, but nothing too serious. I really like how he crashed the glass tonight specifically. Hit a couple threes in a row. Some of the good shots were shot by him. I thought maybe he should have got a little more looks. The 14 assists by Bron came in the first 3 quarters. He was looking for the pass. He was getting guys involved. He could have walked away with way more assists if he wouldn't have been so determined to, shoot his way out of that slump down the crunch, down the stretch. I mean, pick a hell of a time to start getting selfish. When you've been getting assists off left and right, now down the stretch of the game, all of a sudden you want to turn to Steph Curry. And like I said in the last game, shooting like Ben Wallace. I don't know, man. I don't know. When it comes to LeBron James, he's in a ridiculous slump in about 3 or 4 different categories. I'm going to be honest with you. In about 3 different categories, he is in a horrific slump. This is some bad basketball we're watching from this man. And the stats betray it in such a way that he's been able to be productive. I think it was, 27 points, 14 assists, 5 rebounds or something like that. Horrific slump. Don't let them stats lie to you. That was awful basketball. So, yeah, man, I don't know what else to say. I really don't. We didn't play that bad as a team. And like I said, we were missing so many guards. We had different rotations out there. And I think we did really well with those rotations. I think guys really stepped in and made a name for themselves. Like Jalen Hood-Schifino, I thought he played good with the minutes given. I would have liked him to see him foul harder on a specific play. Where a guy, I think it was Juzang, drove at him, got an and-one lay on a swipe that I mentioned in the halftime video. And I think, you want to see a young fellow wrap somebody up, man. Wrap him up. Don't let him get that shot off. Put your arms around him. But I thought there were good defensive moments there by him. Christian Koloko came in and did some good things, rebounding. I think and rim protecting. I don't believe he scored, but his presence was felt down the stretch. He was definitely part of that 3-man block that blocked Sexton's 3-point shot as time expired. You know, got to give credit to the Utah Jazz, the guys who were trying to make, you know, things happen for themselves. Sensabaugh looked pretty good. Markkanen hit some big threes down the stretch. Sexton looked really good for the most part. Kessler balled out. He's on a great stretch right now. And, you know, Utah, it's hard for the players, man. This is a game that they should have won, to be honest with you. I'm just being real. That Colin Sexton layup should have probably iced the game against us. I mean, we would have had another chance to try to do something. We did have a timeout, so we would have had an attempt. But their coach calling a timeout, you know, teams are tanking, man. I don't know what to tell people. The NBA is not going to be really happy with that. Obviously, the Utah Jazz are just going to say, you know, it was an accident. But I genuinely think that they were trying their very best to sabotage their basketball game so they can give themselves the best chance of losing it for tank reasons. And I'm going to stand by that. I really genuinely believe they threw this basketball game. And there's nothing wrong with that in the scheme of what we're doing here in the NBA. You know, if you're a team that's trying to get it through the draft, you know, you got to lose enough games to make that make sense. And this is one of the ones that I'm sure they circled as a definite loss. And the Lakers playing poorly was not going to get in the way of that. You know, teams haven't mathematically understood about how many games they want to lose and which games they want to lose. And, you know, you can't betray that. You're on a mission.